All right, let's do an example of matrix multiplication. So here are our three matrices. Notice that this is a, 2 by 3 matrix. This is a 3 by 1. And this is a 1 by 3. Okay? So remember, in order to multiply matrices together, the inner numbers of the order must be the same. We don't care about the outer, it's the inner indices that should be the same. Okay? So these two we could multiply together because the inner dimensions, if you will, are the same. So the number of rows of the first matrix is equal to the number of columns, the number of columns of the first matrix is equal to the number of rows of the second matrix, right? So we can multiply these together, okay? But if we switch them, we won't, because again, so the order of how we multiply them does matter. So A times B is not the same as B times A, not necessarily, okay? So, but anyway, let's do this. So A times B, so let's write this out. A, 2, 5, 6, negative 3, 0, 1, times 1, 3, negative 4. So this is again 2 by 3 and 3 by 1. Now here's the cool thing. The resulting matrix will be a 2 by 1 matrix. Has to be. Okay? So now, let's calculate the value. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the first row, right? So this is going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay? So we want the first element right here. How do we get the first element? By going with the first row, first column. So we're gonna cycle through. So we're gonna multiply these two together, right? So this matrix, let's call it E11, right? Let's call this E11, element 11, and we'll call this E21, right? So now E11 is going to be going across the first column, across the first row, first column. So that means we're going to take 2 times 1 plus 5 times 3 plus 6 times negative 4. And that's it. So that will give us 2 plus 15, which is 17, plus negative 24. Right? So it would be 17 plus negative 24, which is going to give us negative 7. Okay? So E11, hold on. Let me just write. So this will be negative 7. So again, just make sure we did that right. So negative 24. So this is going to be 17. Which is going to be negative 7, right? So now let's do E21. Now we're going to do what? Second row, first column, right? So now it's going to be negative 3 times 1 plus 0 times 3 plus 1 times negative 4. Okay? And notice, and so this is going to be negative 3 plus 0, which is negative 3, plus negative 4, which is negative 7. All right, so we get negative 7 as our result. Now notice here, as I'm cycling through the rows, right, I do this row times this column, then I do the next row times this column. Notice that for each one, the second number stays the same. Just little pattern, okay, to notice. Okay, the next one is B times C. Okay, so let's do B times C. All right, so B times C, this is a 3 by 1 and a 1 by 3. Notice the inner dimensions are the same, so we can multiply these. So let's do, so 1, 3, negative 4 times, oops, negative 2, 10, 1. Okay, so this is 3 by 1, 1 by 3. So this is going to end up being a 3 by 3 matrix, right? So it's going to be, so it's going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. So we're going to have E11, E12, E13, E21, E22, E23, and then E31, E32, and E33. And so to figure out each one, we just go through the process of cycling through our inner products, right? So what we're going to do for E11, it's going to be first row, first column. So it's just going to be these two multiplied together. So it's going to be negative 2. And then 1, 2 is now I'm going to go to this one, second column, 10. And the third column is going to be 1. Now I'm going to cycle down to the second row, and I'm going to cycle through again. So it's going to be negative 6, 30, 3. And then finally down to the third row. Now I'm going to cycle through the columns. So it's going to be 8, negative 40, negative 4. And that's it. All right, A and C. Now AC, the product AC, let's look at the order, right? So we've got 2 by 3, 1 by 3. Well, we can't do it in this order because the inner dimensions don't match. The number of columns of A don't match the number of rows in C, so we cannot do AC. AC is, we can't do it. All right, that's it. Have a great day.